I've always been drawn to industrial areas. They appear very mysterious to me, probably because you don't really go there unless you have to. They have a certain sadness and aesthetic quality. I think that's what draws me to them. The first thing you notice walking through Hazaribagh is the stench that seems to be everywhere. There's no escaping it, really. This smell comes from the leather tanneries who are releasing their toxic waste into gutters that run along every street and alley in the area. Another thing that strikes you is the fact that nobody seems to notice the smell, or at least nobody seems to be bothered by it. The wastewater eventually builds up into ponds and lakes right next to residential areas. This wastewater contains sulfuric acid, formic acid, chrome and manganese, and when you speak to people, most of them will tell you about skin ulcers and chronic respiratory problems and chest pains, things of that nature. And of course, this is directly related to being in contact with these chemicals. The Buriganga is basically Dhaka's lifeline. It's the city's main body of water. All across the country, rivers are used for cleaning and bathing, fishing and transportation. It's really a part of daily life for millions of people. And unfortunately, years of toxic dumping into the Buriganga has turned its water black. While I was photographing, people would shout out to me, "Why are you taking pictures? This river is dead." What needs to be understood about Bangladesh is that there aren't any regulations on industrial waste management, or at least none that are being enforced. Market profitability is causing both the government and the tanners to turn a blind eye to the environmental consequences and health hazards occurring in Hazaribagh. There has been talk of moving the tanning district north of Dhaka, where the 200+ tanneries would actually share a common effluent treatment plant. But with the possibility of an eventual move, there's no incentive towards building an effluent treatment plant in the current tanning district. The absence of regulation also extends to the workers and their environment. Workers are often wading through the water without adequate protection. Many are bare feet, and all of them are pretty much in direct contact with tanning chemicals. Most tanneries don't have proper ventilation or any ventilation. The only light coming through is through doorways and cracks or openings in the walls. They're mostly working in the dark. In the West, we tend to have a different view on child labor, but what I came to notice is that most children working in the tanneries are often sent there by their parents so that they will generate some kind of income for their family. Children who are younger will usually work at meticulous tasks, whereas the older they get, their work becomes more physical. Like many developing countries, Bangladesh is rapidly changing. However, you get a sense that everything is very volatile. It's striving for modernization, but lacking resources and expertise all around the country. Dhaka particularly is struggling with extreme poverty and overpopulation problems and corruption. And you wonder, when is it going to reach a breaking point? Or perhaps they have reached it already. So it'll be interesting to see how the country manages these issues in the years to come.